forward.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right,
not with
so
her because you already blocked her and all that.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna say this, B. I'm gonna say this. I don't think you're ready to be dating, period. Right? Like you said, you got your therapist. Go ahead, start exploring some of your relationships all the way back to when you were a child, right? Explore all of those relationships because you definitely have a wall up and you got to figure out the why. Where did that kind of come from? And so you're going to have to learn to kind of be open, be vulnerable, and work through all of that stuff again if you ultimately do want a long lasting relationship. Because the way your cutoff game is, you will be single forever. So my thing is, with the way you are you getting the outcomes that you want? Right? Meeting women, cutting them off as soon as they're doing the one thing, how close are you to reaching your goal? If the way you're doing it works for you, okay, cool. But you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I suggest that you chill on the dating altogether, really continue to do the work with your counselor or your therapist and explore some of those past relationships to kind of see what is really going on, where does this stuff really stem from, and then go through your own healing process alone first. So that way you can really have a chance to get what it is that you really want in the long run.
Yeah, bro.
Are you taking new clients, Adrian? Go ahead and plug yourself. I think you should.
Right.
I ain't not right now. Well, the price triple, so anybody else $250 an hour, yo. $250 an hour.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
I was looking at some of Kevin Samuel's stuff, right? Because I think he knows a lot. I think he has a lot of good points. However, I think that all men think they apply to what he's saying, right? When really it's a caliber of man that can talk that talk, walk that walk, right? And uphold certain standards and qualities, right? So sometimes I fear, like even young boys, right? Who don't got any money yet, so on and so forth, they walking around like Kevin Samuel's walking around, right? But they not really there yet. They really don't have those options, in women even. And then what they do is they don't get to develop dating and courting because they walking around like they Kevin Samuels.
Right.
Now I agree with probably 95% of his points just as principle, but to who they apply to matters given where you are in life.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I mean, being able to, but that's accountability though too. That's what Alex was talking about, like having self-reflection. So like if you could reflect on yourself and say, okay, I'm not what he's describing, or if I'm not that person, then I can't really demand the same things because I don't really add up to the same level, right? So you got to be able to have that kind of reflection about yourself. And I'm not talking about you, B. I'm just talking in general. In general, you got to be able to say, like, I personally, I have a lot of flaws, right? So I know I can't expect all my check boxes to get hit when I'm all over the place sometimes, right? So I can't expect that. So I got to dial it back on what I really, I can't compromise on the things that are my fundamental stuff, right? But I got to dial back the glory luxury points in my check boxes because I'm not exactly where I should be or where I want to be as a person.
Yeah, that's fair. That's that self accountability that Alex said. There's a mirror for a reason. I think that the right woman can check those boxes, but everybody can work. Has to still continue to work though. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them boxes, when you meet the right woman, you don't even regard those boxes anymore.
They don't matter as much.
Yeah, they don't matter. And then you just like, damn, this is dope. Okay, let's work on this. Not that you can't do this, Yeah.
And that's why too, B, I said, but it's for everybody. People are not even like whole before they even try to date, right? But the more whole you are, the easier it'll be for you to see who like naturally matches up with you. So let's not skip some of these processes, especially if you've been hurt or you got like trauma, right? If you connect with somebody, you're connecting to them as a broken person. So take the time that you have being single to really fall in love with yourself, really use that mirror to see, okay, this is my thought process, these are patterns that I'm seeing, let me really do the work that I need to do for me. Then when you meet the right one, it's not even about boxes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's something you can't even explain. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I got a
that's a
little,
fact.
you know what I'm saying? I got a Joan now, it'll be my little sweet beat. But she's so like different to the point to where I probably wouldn't even have looked at her a few years ago.
Adrian,
Because I took the time to do like what I needed to do, I see the way this woman fits me, and it's legit in a way that I've never been able to see a woman. But it's just like my vision is clearer now, though, because I
Come
took
on, Adrian.
through what I needed to go through, and not just hop around and bounce
Adrian,
around.
question.
It's the
question.
clear vision for me.
Yeah.
Yo,
What's
Adrian, question, bro. So, does there have to be some acceptance of brokenness?
Absolutely.
Like, are you ever gonna get to the point where you don't feel as such? But does the right person accept some of that brokenness, like flaws and all?
I think it's a process for like everyone. I think that they should, but I feel like, and this is just from my personal experience for how it worked out with me. It's almost like her strengths fit with my brokenness without her having to be anything different. You know what I'm saying? So like areas that I am weak in, she naturally gives in those areas. So it's not draining to her to do it. So like the alignment is on a complete different level, unlike anything else that I have seen. So also I think you need successful tools to be in a successful relationship too. So that's just like communication, not having unrealistic expectations, giving people the room to make mistakes. You know how some people be like, oh, you my wife or you my girl, you supposed to be supportive. That's an unrealistic expectation to feel like this person is always going to be, supportive. But again, if you can get to the place to where you know how to be good alone, they don't always have to be supportive, right? They can have room to not be perfect, to not always be there, because you have the tools so that you can be able to cope with things, on your own for when they have things going on too. So I think as long as you just continue to put in the work, you both continue to learn different strategies, together to continue to grow. It's beautiful when it's with, the right person.
Hey, quick question, Adrian. Should that person be able to both like help foster your growth and pacify some of your weak points? You know what I mean? Like you're saying that you may not need them for this, that, and the third, but they can enhance it, right? And then some of your weak points, should they be able to help you cover them or mask them or fix them?
I think it depends. So like if it's like for me, I'm more of a big vision type of person, right? I suck with the details, but she's very detail oriented. So it fit. But I'll say this, because of the way she is, I see my flaws myself. And so it makes me want to work on my own flaws. You know what I'm saying? She's not the type where she'll tell me one time something she don't like or something like that. Like that's it. She's not going to continue to tell me it. But because she's gentle with me, right, and because of the way she support me, I see everything I need to do on my own, and that pushes me to do it on my own without her. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like it's still your responsibility to fix you, even in a relationship. So it's like the better you are as an individual, the more you continue to put into yourself as an individual, the better the relationship is going to be.
Got it. Question, Adrian. I'm just thinking. How do non-negotiables do those exist? You think once a person understands himself and then finds the right person, does everything become negotiable, or you think non-negotiables still exist?
Yeah, non-negotiables still exist. Absolutely. Because again, so like with we was having a conversation about something that, and I'm like you, Hamp, like that's where order comes in at. Right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, she's only gonna be with me because she knows I view her, and I love the way you put it, Hamp. I view her as my high counsel. She's literally one of the smartest women that I know, and it's not even all intellect, it's because of her heart. So I know any advice she gives me is never coming from a bad place, never coming from a manipulative place, never coming from a selfish place. So I'm always going to take it into consideration. But even if we don't agree, I know she's going to follow me too.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm like, hey, no, like I'm not doing this, or this is how I am, then I'm not going to bend on it. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong too. They lose so much of themselves just trying to be with somebody. But when you are sure of yourself and it's the right way, you don't have to bend that for the right person. You can genuinely be you.
Yeah, that's a fact. I know.
Like, yeah, because y'all know how Hemp is. Hemp not changing for nobody unless he feel like it's really a need to change. And he happily married over there because she accepts him for who he is and vice versa.
I like her a lot, man.
So Adrian, you got to start a new page. You got to be at the therapist Adrian or something like that, right?
Nah,
you got to add
raining, yo.
You got to add that
listen.
in there.
People be wanting therapy, but they don't listen.
Yeah.
People don't really like changing for real.
I mean, this the right platform for it though, because it's coming from a perspective from everybody having an opinion on it and being able to combat it a little bit too. So, you know, that's key. That's key. But now you hit on all the points, man. Like being able to compromise important things, but not compromise the fundamental things about you. Like you said, there's some things that are, you know, are rule breakers that you can't negotiate. You know, but largely, if it's your person and they work out and y'all are having the conversations and communicating, you can get through some shit. You really could. You really could.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like even like I'm personally don't push young men to date women with kids. But I think maybe open up to see what it's like. I think you said you did it before. But I think she also had too many goddamn kids. You can't pick the woman that had 4 kids. Right? That's what jaded you. She has 6 kids. And then you go over there and all 8 kids are there. Of course it's not going to be a good experience.
I like how the numbers increase by 2 each time.
Yeah, 4, 6, 8.
So now it's 10 kids over there eating up all the oodles and noodles, and you feel the type of way.
That's what I'm saying. You know, and then you get some oodles and noodles. Now it's a war. You can't. That's not gonna work. You know, that 12 pack with 8 kids is not. It's not gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying?
But B, I'll tell you this, B, and I've been married. I've been married twice. I'm divorced twice, right? I'll tell you this.
Bruh. Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
I'll tell you this. Like, you're not going to meet the right woman without having to fight for her. You're not. You're not going to meet the right woman and have and everything align the way you want it to be and everything's cool and smooth. You're going to have to put some time in. You got to put some work in. That's just what, and you had to deal with things that you don't want to deal with. But you got to see her value as greater than what the inadequacies are. That's reality. Like,
yeah,
not gonna be able to find that woman to hit everything, and you were like, oh, I'm ready made. I'm plug and play, and I just jump into this, and it works. Nah, that's not reality, man.
Man, you probably don't even know what you need, B. Like we think we do.
Yeah, for real.
I'm being honest, and I'm really speaking for myself. I thought I knew. I wanted her to check these boxes, these boxes, these boxes. The woman I'm with now has showed me like, hey, I do need a woman who thinks like this, who moves like this, and I didn't even know. So like when people be like, yeah, I didn't really know what I needed until I met her, but that goes back to the work. So I was at a place to where I had put in a lot of it, but even some of those things that were good about her was triggering to me because I was so used to only dealing with a certain type of woman that had a certain type of mindset. So I remember before on one of the podcasts, y'all was like, did you ever say you'll never say a woman is too like feminine? I felt that way about her sometimes. Like she's just so soft, like all the time. Like that was even bothering me, but that was how messed up I was. But I never would have not saw it had I not met her. Like her softness literally like bothered me to where I was like, yo, sometimes can you just be like, hey, like talk to me with a normal voice? And I'm like, yo, no, Adrian, you still got some more work to do. That a woman being this soft and being genuinely excited just to hear your voice bothers you. go back and see your therapist and process this stuff before you lose this woman over here. You know what I'm saying? So it may be hard for you to even see, man. So just continue to do that work that you're doing, you know, with your therapist, man.
Yeah, Adrian, I thought shit like that was fake. Like you putting on a show. Like, why are you talking to me like this all the time?
Nah, that's
like, relax. Like, all right, we cool, we here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
that's
here.
Crazy. We didn't even think it existed. We didn't even think women like that existed, man.
Yo, yeah, that shit is key. There's one thing I can't let go though. B, you gotta learn how to close, baby boy.
Learn how to close.
Yeah, you gotta close. When she
we
naked,
all be guilty, B.
Oh,
we all be guilty.
No. Hey, no, Sean, speak for yourself. Like I know. So I mean, this is way back. Whoever watching, Adrian is a closer. Nah, not you, nigga. You crack. Adrian is a closer. I know for a fact.
Yeah, you gotta close that one, bro.
Yeah, I close. Everybody up here don't close.
Sometimes it's not the right time, B. Hey, B, don't look. It's not a judgment of your character. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't close the door, you don't close the deal, you don't close the deal. A lot of business is not done. You know, you don't make the final call on a sales call or something like that. A lot of business is not done. You don't close the deal the right way. So it's not a discredit to you.
But that close?
I've been closer.
Yo.
I've been closer. We're not gonna get into great detail, but it's been some times, B. So that's what I say. You gotta charge to the game, man.
Sometimes, man.
Charge to the game.
But B, you're the coolest dude I know, man.
Yeah. And B, you know, if you this authentic all the time, for real, it's gonna show, it's gonna portray to the right person. You're gonna get with the right woman, and it's not gonna be it's not gonna be a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, I mean, just keep being authentic, for real.
Keep it 50 fast straight.
50 straight back. You keep being authentic, man. The right person gonna fall in the way, but you do have to understand that she not gonna hit everything that you want, and you're gonna have to put some work in. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pull some of that out of her, right? Because you know, either you gotta pay the car note, or it might be TGI Fridays, right? And that you gotta structure them like, no, like that's not a thing, you know. But women need guidance. Honestly, I mean, that's just a fact. And then women help us be our best selves. So those things go hand in hand, right? And I mean guidance in the most diplomatic way, not in a no condescending way. You know what I'm saying? But that's what our women, and then if we can help guide them, they bring us to a whole different plateau. You know, but it takes work. They help you see things that you can never see. You know,
and as men, we need guidance too in regards to how we treat our women. Because, like to Adrian's point, like saying that somebody's really feminine, that's what we want, right? But then it's like we get it. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you so feminine, right? Why are you so reluctant? Why are you so this, so that? So we need guidance in the same way, where we have to determine whether, you know, we can adapt and adjust to what they're delivering to us.
Yeah, I guess when something is unfamiliar, right?
Yeah, because it could seem off. It could seem off. Like why are you being so nice? Why are you being so cool about this? You know, it seems you get defensive about it.
Yeah, change is difficult for a lot of people, even when it's for the better, and then often creates some reluctancy. So, hey man, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.